age of ideas. Everything is an idea. The startup movement has never been more stronger than ever before. There are too many startups everywhere in the world, and they all think they have the magic wand to translate and make a change in this world. So move on with the next one. With this age of ideas, we need to do is change for good. There are many, many startups in many parts of the world, including India, that are actually building a lot of change for good. Example towards environment, example towards conservation of water, example towards making a translation from where the current state to where it should be. To where it should be. I always ask, what if? If what if is the answer to making this change, then what is it that will bring about the change in the world? So here we go. We are living in uncertain times, and in uncertain times, how to grow in times of uncertainty is what is the answers I'm looking at today. How does the human race, the human generation, grow in times of uncertainty? Do we have direct answers to what we are looking for? The answer is an obvious yes, but do we want direct answers to what mankind is looking for? And probably no. So what will migrate, translate, mitigate, make the change will be our own selves. And unless and until we decide that in uncertain times that we need to create certainty of our behaviors, our attitude and our approach. A simple example. I am struggling today with a lot of families, a community of families in Mumbai and the place where I stay near the Arabian Sea to educate them to grow their own garden at home. They all have balconies, they all have verandas, they all have open ground, they also have places where they could actually cultivate vegetables and plants to create a balance in the ecology and eat healthy. But that's a struggle. So when people understand that with every uncertainty, if the answer is going to be lying within us, they need to do something about it. So I'm actually looking at building sustainable stars of tomorrow. My next year's program is aiming to actually bring about sustainable stars. Over 200 sustainable stars in this hotel, in this room, probably at the same time next year, where I talk about 200 leaders who have made a change in this world. But how do you discover them? So I took a sample size of 150 countries, and I wrote to many leaders in those countries, big and small, large and medium. And I approached them into what can they do to bring about sustainability in their nations. They wrote back to me. They wrote back to me with brilliant ideas, which are being evaluated by an independent jury today. And that jury is telling me signals that it gives me. The next 3 years, these are the people who will translate that change, because they are the sustainable stars of tomorrow. Look up my publication, and I'm sure my colleagues will write to you as soon as it releases, both digitally and in a physical form, on these stars of tomorrow. They're all sustainable. They all have a mindset of sustainability. They all can translate sustainability into action and set up an example that will build the future. Climate. We've done nothing. As humans, we've done nothing. COP27 had a lot of promising ideas, but the question is, did we translate them? What will happen at COP29? I can take a guess and tell you right now what's going to happen. Because the answer, the writing is on the wall. We are talking, but we are not translating. If we talk and don't translate, we are going to be limited as a race. Let me repeat that again for you. If we talk and we don't translate, we are going to be limited as a race. And that generation to come will be without water. I'm doing a very unique experiment on mental health. I own a farm which is about 3 hours drive from Mumbai, in a place called Karjat in Maharashtra in Mumbai, in the western Ghats of India. And on that farm, we have created water reservoirs to actually create rainwater harvesting. We've got everything cultivated there, and we are looking after 108 animals who have no hands and legs and who have been disabandoned. They could be deer, it could be an elephant without tusk, which is what is worrying me, because if the elephant without tusk exists today, the future elephants will have no tusk. That's a question that many of the ecologists are asking. We are creating a situation for animals to survive. reptiles like snakes that are venomous and non-venomous and have been beaten or eaten away by eagles and crows. We are nourishing them back to life. And in that experiment, we've stood up to say, in this 20-acre farm, whatever is cultivated here will be consumed here, something that Keynesian economics did. What is produced is sold. And so the entire ecology is, you live there in harmony. You live in harmony with nature, you live in harmony with animals, you live in harmony with what you're doing, and you translate everything that you're doing into a fantastic being. How do we make this change happen? And what do we do to make this change happen? We balance climate with innovation. Ideas that will bring about innovations. Not just innovations in saving the planet, but innovations in our homes, the way in which our moms and our wives cook at home, the way in which we are translating our children's education. This is the point which is worrying me. The generation is so smart, but what are we doing to make this smart generation adaptable to the climate? What kind of awareness are we doing? Even in terms of water, we are teaching school children, and we have educated teachers to tell children that they should not take a shower, they should actually fill their bucket with water and use a jug to pour it over them. That saves water. The same water which we are using for bathing can be recycled for plants, for gardening. We are educating people to doing that. Another 12 years and water will disappear from this earth. We need to conserve it. The sun is going to get hotter. The meteorites are going to break into pieces. The planetary positions are going to change. And if we don't act today, if we don't innovate in what we are doing today, we as a race will suffer in a big time. Therefore, what is it? What is the solution? This is my favorite. Every evolution creates a revolution. Let me repeat that again for you. Every evolution creates a revolution, and every revolution creates an evolution. There is an evolution that is happening. Look at this young man who's busy drawing and writing something. I met him, he was so smart. I asked him in front of his mother, what would you like to drink? And he said, perhaps a cup of tea or hot chocolate. So Govind went and brought him some hot chocolate to drink. He knows his priorities very well. He's smarter than me on use of cell phone. He's smarter than me on playing games on computers. He's smarter than me and his mother and his father into what he's thinking and doing. Perhaps he'll stand up one day at the United Nations and tell the world, you have done a disaster, you adults, you better save this world because you've affected me. And that day will be a matter of pride for us. It'll be a matter of big pride for us. And that is the evocation that I'm trying to give to every child that I'm meeting. I make it a point to talk to every child I meet, whether it's on the flight, whether it's here, or it's in my own motherland. And asking children, what do you want to do? I have a colleague, whose children, Ramesh, who's taking pictures. His son is smarter than all of us put together. He knows when to play, he knows when to study, he knows when to go to sleep, he knows what to eat, and he's clear butter chicken is his favorite food. You might laugh. So then when you ask him a question, why is it your favorite food? Because this chicken is fed on nutrition is what he answered me. And it eats nutrition food. So I tell my mother, you only buy chicken from this place, do not buy from anywhere. And we as a family do not buy online. I was mighty impressed with his answer. I asked him, what gift can I give you? He says, give me an exotic laptop. I took a step behind. Because I knew he knew what he wanted. Now, what are these stories telling you? The generation is so smart that they know what they want. And you, all of you, forgive me for being so blunt with you, you are just not bothered about a smart generation. And if you don't take stock of a smart generation that is in front of you, the next generation is going to be so smarter that they will outsmart you in everything that you're doing. And yet what? So evolution is evolving. The biology of the world is evolving. People are finding it difficult to sustain their personal lives, balance with the ecology, with the climate, and with their professional lives. And this is going to create mental health hazards. I have been telling every person I meet, do one thing, go and hug a tree today. What? Why do you want me to hug a tree? I said, try hugging a tree, if not a pet. You don't like pets, then go and hug a tree. Talk to a tree that is dying and revive it. When you talk to a tree that is dying and say, come back to life, I love you, the tree actually comes back to life. Try it. And it's doing wonders. In the oases of the deserts, there are plants that are being created that are happening. And I have umpteen examples of the Emirates. I have umpteen examples of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, where I go and tell them how they can be more sustainable. I told the king there that unless and until you give equality to men and women and create a diverse culture, your country will not prosper. Your country will not evolve. I don't know, I came back to my country safe. And then I thank God that I was safe there, because I was blunt in what I was saying. So save the oceans, feed the world. A large part of the world is becoming vegan. A large part of the world is becoming vegetarian. Animals are going to be extinct, including elephants. They're not going to exist. It's a matter of 18 years more. We have to do something. The antelopes are not going to exist. When the glaciers melt, the animals that are used to extreme cold and winter will become completely extinct. Therefore, what we need to do is to save our oceans. There's a whole movement of people who are actually youngsters who are cleaning up oceans. And because they're cleaning up oceans, the reverse osmosis is working so well for the ecology. So what do? We build a chain in the last one. We build a chain by looking after our mental health. Our mental health is very crucial today because the world has transformed and changed. And there are lots of things you can do for your mental health. Lots of things you can do. Gender has nothing to do with it. Diverse culture, which is impactful, is going to impact your mental health. And therefore evolve with that culture. Build a revolution. Create a revolution in your mind for the mental health to exist. And the only way to be mentally fit is to embrace nature. If we are in a position to embrace nature, we can make that change. Ladies and gentlemen, and the last one. So here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, this was my opening for World Sustainability. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to ask Alok, the Executive Director of CMO Global, to take over from here and conduct the next of the proceedings. We have a series of sessions for you. As usual, many of you are meeting, and I'm so delighted that we meet you. I'm a big fan of many of you sitting here who are my honored guests. This day is day committed to sustainability and transformation. If we can make everything sustainable, life is beautiful. Thank you so much. Over to you all.